Hi, sailors. Welcome to another edition of Start Sailing Now Extra. We're here with Mark Burrows today, and he is profiled in the Start Sailing Now page of the May 2022 issue of SpinSheet magazine. So welcome, Mark.
Hi.
Hi. Well, thanks for being with us. And we're just going to spend a few minutes today and share a little bit briefly about how you got into sailing and then the different types of sailing you've done. And we're just happy that we have a little bit of extra time beyond the print page for you to share some of your thoughts about.
Yeah, that should be fun.
You started sailing in college. Give us a brief description of what happened.
Well, college, sort of. I was on a break year just before my senior year due to the due to the school's insistence that I take a year off, and had gone out to California to live for a while and to see what my fortunes look like out there. And I had a lot of friends out there from college, and one of them asked me to come sail with him one day. And he talked about sailing. We were in aerospace and ocean engineering, so we kind of had that kind of stuff going on. So I went out to go sailing with him. It was out of Long Beach Harbor. He had been checked out with the Air Force's rec center there, where they get checked out with a boat and let you take their boats out. So we did, and I didn't have any experience at all. And he said, "Doesn't matter, of course." And we go out and we go out and race, and we go around the course. And he's just telling me which lines to pull and what to do. He's not really explaining anything. It's like we're just having fun, having a good time. And then at one point we never capsized or anything like that. Nice, stable boats. And at one point a boat comes along beside of us and says, "Hey, you guys want beer?" I'm like, "Sure." And they tossed the beer onto the boat, and we continued on racing. At that point, it was like, this has got prospects. We can maybe do this. It's not so hard.
That was your introduction to beer can races, I guess.
Exactly. It was like, yeah, it was exactly that. And whenever anybody says that, I'm like, I know what you mean.
Yeah. So, yeah, what a wonderful introduction. And, would that all sailors had a fun first low-key experience that way.
Yeah.
I don't know if all other sports are like this for adults. There's so many different ways that you can do it. Big boats, small boats, owning a boat, other people's boats. And we call that OPB, right? So if you see that in print, sailors, new sailors, that's other people's boats is a thing. So, yeah, tell us your thoughts about that, Mark.
So most people you can get into sailing in a lot of different ways. And actually it's easier than many people think, I believe, in that if you have a desire to do it, you can go take lessons at any number of the schools and training centers around. At one point, I decided that I really wanted to get into sailing more. And again, like everybody else, I went and took lessons first. And that made sense. And that was fun. And a little while after doing the lessons, this was at Belhaven Sailing Center down just south of the Wilson Bridge on the Potomac. Had gone out with some friends on their power boat. They took us on this cool trip up from Occoquan up to Alexandria, tied up there at the dock. It was the day before the 4th of July. You would think it'd be crazy there, but it wasn't. We just pulled in, tied up the dock, went, had a great dinner, got back on the power boat, and had this nice sunset cruise back down to their marina. And it was like, I really, really need to start doing something like this. And that's when I started researching getting a boat of my own. I decided that was the way to do it at that point. I had lessons. I knew how to sail, but decided now's the time to go get a boat of my own. And then eventually it's like, okay, it's one of these 10 boats. And you start narrowing those down. And eventually the reality hits you like, okay, if I get this boat, where am I going to put it?
Very important.
It's very important. And so early on, a lot of folks will look at a boat that's on a trailer, and that's what I ended up doing. I ended up buying a 1995 Hunter 26 that had it was a water ballast boat with a drop keel on it. And I got it like it was a 95, but I got it in 96, I believe is what it was. It was on a trailer. got it in Deltaville, and the broker down there said, "Look, if you don't have a place to keep it at your house," and at the time I had a townhouse, he's like, "Just leave it here. Just come on down whenever you want to. We'll launch it off of our ramp right here. We can do that, and in and out very easy." And for the first summer, that's exactly what I did. Like I made a phone call to several different clubs saying, "Hey, do you have a racing program, and do the people need crew for it?" And ultimately, I had a couple of different Commodores say, "Yeah, we can hook you up." Actually, I've got an email right now from somebody for our club asking the same thing. So that's my job now, like make these hookups. I got hooked up. But then I was able to sail and learn about racing on somebody else's boat over the course of about 10 years, I guess, where I'm on these different boats, and then came another time all the kids had gotten bigger, and they could learn how to handle the boat like you're talking about. And I wanted them to have that water experience that I kept seeing everybody else and their kids having. Like, this would be great. No, they won't get to do this any other way. Mm-hmm. And so that's when I bought the big boat, the Beneteau 36.7. And it's a fast. I've been racing so much that I had to have something that was fast. I couldn't go slow anymore. I couldn't stick with the Hunter anymore. Racing does amp things up a little bit, in that there's like imperatives to get something done. Yeah. But then there's the time before a race starts, where you walk through what the expectations are today. And if you're a good skipper who understands the people that are coming on board your boat, you can make their experience and your experience a lot more pleasant by adapting to that rather than assuming, oh, well, we're going to fly a spinnaker today, so you're going to be running the mast, you're on the bow, you're going to do this, and people look at you like, deer in the headlights.
Yeah.
What's a bow? or what's a spinnaker pole? And you just adapt to that, and you race with the crew you get, or not the crew you want.
Well put.
Yeah.
A certain boat's not a good fit for a new person, and what should somebody look for in that?
Well, it's a two-way street when you're looking for crew, and a skipper looking for crew, and crew looking for skippers. Skippers are looking for people to fill roles. Mm-hmm. Crew are looking for someone that they can learn from. But if you're coming onto a boat for the first time and you're looking for a skipper, you want to find somebody that communicates well, at the very least. That you aren't trying to figure out what they're saying. You look around the boat, there's labels on everything. That's really key too. That's very helpful. Even if it says, the label says, starboard and port. And I'm not sure if the video is giving me starboard and port.
Right. We're going to give you credit for knowing which is which, even if it feels like we're in the mirror image on the screen.
There's a little bit of that there.
Yeah.
That's really helpful.
Yeah.
Jumping on board or trying to connect with a sailing club is probably a very easy way for someone who doesn't own a boat to start getting involved with sailing. Taking lessons, like I said, a lot of times the schools, they have connections to people who are looking for crew for either cruising or for racing and that sort of thing. It's mostly just looking around and being persistent. And I always tell new skippers that are starting to race that when they're looking for crew, like, look for the people that show up all the time. Yeah. That they're there. They're there early. But they're always there, and they may not be the rock star, but you're always going to need somebody like that, and it's better to have somebody there than nobody at all.
Yeah, so persistence and reliability go a long way.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Well, Mark, thanks so much for sharing with us, and we look forward to seeing you out on the water.
All right, I'll be there.